Welcome back to the Live from Abbey Road and Panasonic story. I continued my conversation with John Mills and Peter Van Hook, and I asked them how they capture the HD pictures and audio for the production.
Well, all our footage is captured high definition with Panasonic cameras onto DVC Pro HD tape. We take that tape, we then digitise all the material that we shoot, which might be from one day's shooting from one artist could be up to 20 hours of footage. We digitise all that footage, and then we edit it and we play it out. Actually, we play it out onto what the broadcasters require, which is DV-Cam SR standard 10-bit. Getting technical. So we try and we retain the highest quality that we can, and we do put a lot of effort into the post-production process. Sound-wise, I mean, Peter will explain how we do the sound more on the picture side, but both picture and sound, we do take a lot of effort to technically get it absolutely as good as we can. And hopefully these pictures will still be great footage to look at in 20 years' time, because they are all mastered on HD, and and I think they look great. So.
Really, the way we capture the sound, really, as John picked up, is very much like a recording session. People come to Abbey Road, they expect the best. So at Abbey Road, we've got the best microphones, best microphone collection on earth that goes back from the 1930s to present day. So we have a huge selection of stuff. So when we come to the recording process, we look at what the artist, who he is, have conversations with them before they come here, and design the kind of microphone list, all those things. Then they basically, it's all done on Pro Tools. It's done at their 96K Pro Tools. And then we basically record everything like you would a record. And the interesting thing is, you talked about, it's going back also a little bit to why we use Abbey Road. Abbey Road Studios built in the 1930s. In the 1930s, when it comes to actual recording, they only had one mic. It went straight to wax. So the rooms themselves were made as performance rooms for people playing as an ensemble together in a room. And thank God they kept them like that. So you've got Studio 1, which is a big orchestral room, which we sometimes use. Studio 2, which is a slightly smaller room, but actually it's still a great sounding room. And they're used as performance rooms. And we're kind of using it like that. So the rooms are built for ensemble players to play. So us getting a band in there and recording them all in one thing is very much how they were designed for. So that's a fantastic bonus for us. So we take the process all the way forward. So we decide on what takes we want to do, artists collaborate with that. It's all about how good they are, how can they raise their bar to get performances. We record it onto Pro Tools, and then we post-productionize it. There's Graham Bonnet and Rupert Cobb do the mixing and the engineering, and they mix all the stuff, and there's a collaboration here that goes on between the pictures, etc., and then Graham will lay it all back to tape.
Yeah, what we do is Keith Mottram, our editor, puts the show together, so he'll edit all the music tracks. Normally we would edit to what we call a desk mix, which is a mix on the day, which we actually put onto the camera as a guide, and then we also get those mixes from Rupert. So we will do our initial edit to that. When we finish the show, we send what we call OMF files to Graham Bonnet of the whole show with all the sound there. Then he will replace the desk mixes with the final mixes that they've done, and mix all the dialogue, etc., together. Then they send us a finished file of the whole show, which we then lay onto the finished pictures when we put all the graphics on. Well, absolutely invaluable. I mean, Panasonic have been just fantastic to us. They've just they've really bent over backwards to really help us out in every area of our production. I mean, the way we use the studio. If you see clips of the show or watch the show, you'll see that we feature monitors, Panasonic monitors, as part of the setting of the studio, and they've become part of the aesthetic of the show. I mean, more and more, I think, as the series has progressed. And they're incredibly useful, and they give us some great effects. There's no delay on them, so the sync is exactly the same. So you can have a shot of an artist playing the keyboards that might be on the plasma, and a shot of their face with that. So you can get some incredible visual effects without having to do any special effects whatsoever. So we found that incredibly useful. And they look great in the studio. They're such great looking plasmas that they look great as part of the set.
Yeah, and if I can just interrupt, the interesting thing is that we couldn't find at the time plasmas that didn't have any delays at it, and that's how the relationship started with Steve Lucas at Panasonic, was the fact that we couldn't find technically a monitor that didn't have a delay in it, and we were scrambling around trying to find this as our director was going crazy saying, I can't use these monitors, they're out of sync, you know. And then we came about through Panasonic, who very kindly lent us these things, and all of a sudden it was eureka for us, that we suddenly had a product that could work. The very fact that it's a domestic product was incredible as well. So I think the delineation between professional and domestic has really got incredibly small now. I mean, that's been the great, remarkable thing that's happened. And as far as the relationship that we have with Panasonic, it works on every single level. So from the Panasonic plasmas in the show that have been fantastic, it moved to the cameras, which have been great. And the other thing that John's kind of touched upon, was the fact the interesting thing about the codex is it means that we now have more creative time to work on the show. Because rather before it was too technical, we've missed out a whole process between offline and onlining to a degree. So we've thrown away the old way of offlining, which means you have to put the tapes in twice. Now you just put the tapes in just it once. And it means that we have more creative time. More creative time means we give the public a better product. And that's the whole concept of this show. And just to touch on one other thing, conceptually about the show, is that we don't have an audience. And what's quite interesting about that is it means that the audience is the viewer, which is a very similar feeling that you get with people who've bought CDs, etc. There's never been an audience when a CD's been made, ever. If Elton John was about to make a record, there's no audience there to say, come on Elton, do it. So you're looking at a very personal experience in the studio, and that's another thing that really kind of works, is that you get a feeling that you have knowledge of that artist and the performance is for you. So it's been a fantastic relationship with Panasonic all the way through, from the marketing to the broadcast aspects, to the domestic products. It's been a fantastic, synergetic idea.
Okay, it's been a very positive relationship, and it's great that because of the close relationship that we have now with the production team of Life from Abbey Road. If I feel that there are products in our lineup that I would like to test at Abbey Road, we can do, and those products go into the production process, and I receive feedback from the team at Life from Abbey Road, and that's really good for us. And it also I give that feedback directly back to the factories as well. So that's really great. And I think the whole concept of being associated with this type of music series really ties in with our ethos that we're using at the moment, which is everything matters, and the line that I use when referring to Life from Abbey Road and Panasonic is performance matters, everything matters. So that is really what brings the two association together very well.